That's bad. Moment. Okay. Sorry for the bumping. I'm gonna tangle up with stuff. Hello. I'm back on this average Sunday. Hello, who's here? We got Pondo. Hello, Semper. Hello, Depresso. Hello, Jano, if you're around still. Hello. What's up, guys? And all of the rest of you. Where might he be? Hedestad. Hello. Yes, once again, no B. B said that you're not welcome in his B home anymore, and he kicked me out to the curb. Now I'm left stranded, alone. The default state of being. Start zeeting. Oh yeah, good music. Let me just put this on Twitter real quick. Just this. Okay, done. If you think you refine a bit more, Princess of Bononoke will be finished. It's good. I actually think the whoops, my bad. I think the anatomy on that one is better, Jano. Up his pain. Wait, why is up pain? But yeah, the B is Robert is very much not feeling good. I think he's just destroyed his sleep schedule, so he can barely stay awake because he said he hasn't slept. It's terrible. And to be fair, I'm sort of pushing up against my insomnia again. It sort of crept back to me this week, so I've been feeling the best this week, but we push on. Think so, do. Yeah, he said so. Yes, he tried. He broke it further. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, I understand. Like, I've been this week. I've been waking up in the morning, and I feel exhausted despite getting up. And I'm like, no. So that's a me problem. Anyway, nowhere near as bad as what's going on. Anyway, back to more artistic endeavors. We're gonna keep on doing this Necromancer. I'm gonna probably start blocking in front. I think that sounds like a good one. So yeah, will help me figure out the rest of the colors for the back to find it all. But I think, actually, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything definite. I was about to say I think I know how much longer this is going to take, but I don't know. I'd rather keep it under wraps. Well, I don't want to guess too early. You look like you're this color. The humidity shot up the last few days, so it feels way hotter in Europe. That classic European heat wave is hitting. A dreadful 26 degrees. Really sweltering weather. It's just been cold and wet. 5 degrees. raining. Depresso sending me a love heart? What? What happened? Do I have to be worried? 36? Okay, that's pretty hot. I'll give you that one. That's, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that. Just where you live, it was mid-30s. Turns out it was 20. You thought it was mid-30s. But you're in, like... You're in Norway, I'm used to. 30 around here. Oh, man. You should visit the Polish desert, Jenner. I've heard so much about it. See how hot it is there. Presser has been adding tits to himself. That's news. What do you mean by this? In what way? Does he have something to tell us? Be betrayal, kicked like fish at the curb. Yep, that's exactly what happened. I'm not welcome in his bee house anymore. No, he's just still not feeling well. So it's up to me to go to learn again. Oh well. I think I managed last time. We had 28 Celsius Friday and it felt like a 30-35 because of high humidity. Torture. You Europeans aren't used to this sweltering weather. There's your venom sacs. Yeah, that makes more sense. And hello, Stoho, by the way. Hello. And Pondo. Did I say hi, Pondo? I forgot. I might have. Well, hello again. You get 2 hellos. Oh, totally. And hello, welcome. The other guy's not with you? Yeah, again, he's still ruining his sleep schedule and feeling terrible, so he says he can't make it. I also barely got any sleep, but I've been awake all day and I've been pushing myself to stay awake, so when it does time to go to bed, I will hopefully fall asleep. So I've kind of been in a lot of pain today, just my eyes burning and like, ah. I soldier on. I did mention thanks for double greens. You deserve it, Pondo. Your walls are thick, so it keeps your apartment cool. Are they like brick or cement? Because that's really well. My house has brick walls as well, so it keeps it pretty constant inside the house. The old house I used to live in the top floor, it was all wood. And it had a west-facing window, so the sun would set and it would beam straight into the house, and it got so fucking hot. It's unbearable. summer was dreadful in that house. You believe it's brick? Yeah. Okay, that's good. Brick's pretty good insulation. Stoha is talking about gacha game. Let's see. I hope the gambling went well. You gambled all your savings into big wins, into longer savings. A down payment on a house. That's how gambling works, right? Or so I've heard. Brick and concrete. So you must have been feeling the heat too bad. $40°C. Where you Tolene? Where it's 40. You in like southern Europe somewhere? Well, I guess. Rip, yeah, that's rough though. In summer here we get 40°C days, but it's like a dry heat, so it's still fucking hot, but it is bearable to a degree. South Asia, oh, okay, I know exactly what kind of weather it is, yeah. Yeah, last I visited Thailand, it was hot and it was humid, but the sun was so, like, painfully hot. Like, you'd stand in the sun and you could just feel yourself burning up. That was something else. So I can relate to what you're going through. $2K more pile. Been spending on this phase's raid tickets. I'm gonna say congratulations. That's so great for you, because I'm sure that means. Weather on Palpagos is perfect. Good to see. Very impressive. It's not that good night there as well, but yeah, I know because of the humidity, so the heat just sticks. I know exactly. Yeah, it's just inescapable, all-consuming. In summer here, if there's no cloud cover, you'll have a 42-degree day, and then it just plummets, and suddenly it's like kind of cold. But if there's overcast or humidity, then yeah, the heat will just fucking stick. So less left to suffer. Left to suffer the indignity of it all. Drizzles for a bit and then whole dry week. Ghost more students? What? Oh, gotcha. or gambling. But yeah, while you guys are frying, it's been cold and wet, and honestly, I welcome it. I have to work inside anyway, so it's not my problem. Don't you worry, I'll be suffering soon enough. Got a steak that was phenomenal, and you think that was the last bit of the cut because it was short, but some 5 centimeters thick. Man. I was gonna say I could go for a steak, but I wasn't not that hungry. I did cook myself a steak a couple of weeks ago. And I hadn't had one in a long time, and it's fucking amazing. Actually, I was like, oh shit. This plain salt and pepper steak, and I was like, oh fuck. Heaven in my mouth. Amazing. Okay. It's forbidden here to eat steak. Yeah, gravestone teeth steak. I'm guessing you're in a Hindu country. I'm sorry for your loss, I gotta say. Barely ever eat pizza or sushi. That's very specific. That's funny. A lot of these base colors are going to be quite desaturated because like there's going to be a lot of, it's going to be quite dark with then sharp contrast, so I can't make it too colorful, right? Otherwise it'll clash. At least that's what I'm thinking. F indeed. Shit's rough. I, for one, am grateful I can enjoy steak. However, it can be expensive, so on the odd occasion. It's a nerf here. Vapios, what's up? Thanks for swinging by. As you can see, no B. We're still B-less. We truly are in the dark time. At least for B. Watching the background. Makes sense. I'm also working. But watching nothing in the background. So to be fair, I don't actually, or at least I try not to watch videos or streams or podcasts while drawing, because I found out that whenever I do, and like I still kind of do, but I try not to. Whenever I do, what happens is that I draw a lot slower, and I notice that the quality goes down, and I sort of start to get a bit lazy, and just like, rather than trying to do the best I can, I just sort of like try to, you know, get it finished. It doesn't always look as good. Meanwhile, Echo doodled up a Basilisk Chatfish based on the D&D 3.5 Basilisk. Really? Show me. Where's that? I didn't see that. So, did you put it in our channel? I didn't see it. Oh, I see it. Ah, that's like a salamander. That's cool. Actually put videos in background when you do night shifts. Yeah, when I used to work night shifts, I'd always queue up, have podcasts and stuff. Just queue those up. Doing menial physical labor is a lot different than doing art. So I have to think a lot harder. Actually have to use my brain. I get you try not to watch them in the background regularly, but it's Sunday, so hey, I'm not saying stop watching me. No, hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying personally, because I know there are people who, like, you know, they can just. There are people who fucking like watch anime with Japanese subtitles and can also work or draw or whatever, and it's like you can't do that. I'm also not the best multitasker, so that might be a part of it. I tend to be a little singularly focused on things. Indio successfully distracts you from drawing in Slacker VC by streaming anime. Exactly. That's why you don't see me in there that much. Because I'm busy. Or I'm just asleep because different time zones. Our job to distract Licky? Yeah, I know, and I have to do all this extra work because I don't have a bee with me. But it's weird, I feel like when I'm on stream, I actually focus more because there's like, it's like a pressure to perform, so I have to like really really push myself. But you know, when I'm alone idling, if I like listen to a YouTube video in the background, I tend to focus less on what I'm doing and just sort of doing it to get it done rather than doing it to make it look good. Then I get frustrated because then I'm like, ugh, my quality went down. All because I was sitting there listening to some YouTube bullshit that doesn't affect my life and has nothing to do with me. But I listened to it anyway. It was just a net negative on me. Betrayed? Yep. He stabbed the knife twice. Like, he likes Yub Nub Drama Slop? Not really. Not really, no. Yeah, I don't, yeah, like, how do I say this? Like, not really, but then sometimes I find myself clicking on videos sometimes. And I know too much than I should about things that doesn't mean anything. It's all pointless. So your conspiracy theory that your anime is better because you're drawing up a sketch with Carlos in the VC. Yeah, see, you had that pressure. You're like, oh, Carlos's discerning eye was on you. Well, I mean, was he like helping you and giving you guidance as well? Because that could have helped too. Literally watching any worthless thing in night feels productive. I wouldn't say it feels productive, but it passes the time pretty quickly. Certainly wastes the time. I wonder, like, I look back and I'm like, wow, I was so far less productive today because I watched this fucking slop. Why do I do this to myself? I just realized that I forgot the tail. As is tradition. He asked me at one point why you chose a high angle and you got a bit of deer in headlights movement and said you didn't. You only watch art videos of the mediums you're not working in so you can soak some knowledge. So that's why you're here, Baphios. You're trying to gain some insight. I don't know how much insight I can give, if that's the case. Is I try to treat each thing I work on as an opportunity to try and learn something. So I tend to experiment or mess around a lot with Zero technique. Only day really he might have been talking about Beano's arch back because he's stepping down a level. I think yeah, he's probably taking about the entire composition. Cat box. Cat in a box. But yeah, I try not to listen to listen or watch videos while I'm working, but as with any bad habit, you slip into it sometimes. Do you use a stylus? Yes, I use a Wacom. What's it called? A Wacom Pen 2. Is that what it's called? Check. Pro Pen 2. Wacom Pro Pen 2. That's what I use. People who know that what you're doing better. People who know what you're doing better than you are scary. Yeah. I don't know, scared. It depends on the person, I guess. But no, you can be you feel like you have a pressure to do your best, right? Sure. Stressing, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Okay, skin's gonna be pretty pale to fit with the sort of aesthetic going for. Honestly, I feel like the most scariest thing someone can say is you're working on a piece and then they'll be like, "Why'd you do that?" And it's like something you always do, and you're like, because it's be funny. I mustn't forget these necklaces here, but I'll probably just block them in. Yeah. That's pretty much that accept my decision rarely made in any conscious way. Sleep deprived brains? Yeah, that's mine right now. It makes you feel any better, Jenno. I've been like full on screamed at, so don't worry your pretty little head. It can be far worse. What's important is that you take it in stride. You don't give up. Don't let it get you down. Always get worse, yeah. I mean, back in the day, in art schools and stuff, the professors, like in an art school, you're in like a studio and you're all in a circle, right? And the professor will walk around and watch you draw. And back in the day, the professor would like throw like the blackboard duster or like chalk or whatever at students that were like messing up. What is this? Like drag them in front of the class for everyone to see to show what they did wrong. That shit's rough. Things may seem bad right now. Don't worry, it's gonna get way worse. Have you ever seen the movie Whiplash? Think of it like that. It's not my tempo. It's try again. It's not quite my tempo. If you haven't seen Whiplash, watch Whiplash. It's an amazing movie. Really watch movies? Well, you should watch that one. It's about a kid who's at school at a prestigious college to be a jazz drummer, and his professor is like incredibly hard on him, like to an absurd degree. And that's the movie. You'd have died of anxiety. It's what they did. They don't do that anymore. They're like, now they're all like, oh, touchy-feely. Well, I guess it depends where you are. Good movie? Yeah, Semper knows. You have the soul in your spot. Oh, okay. But no, yeah, Whiplash, amazing movie. Another thing they would do is that they'd give like they spend the day doing a figure life drawing or whatever the fuck, or whatever the assignment is for the class, and then each of the students will go around and look at everyone else's piece, and then they'd be given like a sticker or like a stamp or something, or like a clip or something, and they would mark any of the works that they liked, and the ones that would get either none or the least amount would be brought in front of the class and critiqued in front of everyone. While the ones that would get the most would be also given the same treatment. But I guess in the opposite direction. That's another story. Like, I haven't had this experience. I never had any any like classical schooling or anything. I'm more self-taught retard, but I know the stories. Recently watched Troy. I think Troy aged a lot better than people give it. I quite liked it. What's this heretical shit about movies being good? Yeah, well, it came out in 2016 or something, so a while ago. But not Troy, Whiplash. Troy came out like 2003 or 2004. Definitely not looking forward to the Odyssey. I think that movie's going to be bad. For various reasons. I don't have hopes for it. But Hemstead, surely you got a movie that you like. They're not all bad. Some are great. Some you watch them and you're like, man, this is why we do it, ladies and gentlemen. Is it just me who doesn't feel the need to look forward to things? Yeah. Trust me, I'm right with you, Janet, but I do try to give things a fair shot regardless, even if my expectations might be low. Hell, the new movie, Obsession, that's actually pretty good. I've seen that. It's good. I liked it. Been a while since we had a good horror movie. Open. I'd say it's important to be, what's the word? It's important to be critical, but also to be fair. people on Reddit can scare you more than an actual horror movie these days. People on Reddit, I feel like real life can. Just the reality of being. The Redditors don't scare me. I pity them. Do I even pity them? I laugh at them. I go, man. I see them and I go, damn. Maybe I'm not doing it so bad after all. Can get that bad. Maybe I'm doing okay. Maybe I don't have to worry so much. Always be worse. Same color at the backgrounds. Blue. This is rough because this thing is purple, but the background's purple. So I gotta choose the right purple. You know what I mean? I think that's a good enough purple as any. Purple it up. You know what scared me the most recently? My car registration fee got renewed and I was like, what's that much now? What the fuck? That's truly terrifying. Spending money. Being forced to spend money. When they make a horror movie like that? Honestly, I feel this show is going to be way darker than it kind of looks, but we can tweak that. Oh, maybe we should do it right now. That's probably what it will be. Actually, no, it's not. I feel like it won't sell well because it'd be real life at that point. But it's a bit. Think about the amount of people that can relate to it. People like stories that are relatable. as they watch him sit here and he gets audited by the tax office, and everyone gets a chill down their spine. And then a rat eats some electrical wires, and he has to get electrical work done. He has no insurance. He has to pay that. And then he has to pay his other insurance. Still drinking tea, man? What if I told you that I'm also actually drinking tea right now? Remind me that in the morning you're gonna mess. Your ID will be expiring. That's more money you gotta pay. That's terrifying. People say more money, more problems, but I'm like, if I had more money, I feel like more of my problems would go away. If I understand that one. Money's whatever. Tedium's having to go take a photo, all that bull. Yes, I know what you mean. Just spend it correctly, no problems. I try. People like characters that go through, just like me, for real, but in abnormal situations, or abnormal characters normally in normal situations. Not a normal man reacting normally in normal situations. I know, like I said, I'm kind of not being serious here. At the same time, maybe I'm also kind of serious. You know? It's a half-truth. It's real though, but also not real. It is real thing, my sweet ass tongues. Put down. Coat. Cloak or whatever. Got your coffee? Ready to go. Slaving away your weekend. Yeah. How did I forget to do that? I didn't slave away my weekend that much, because yesterday I went to a friend's house and played board games all day. And today
which is Sunday for me. Said I had a very bad sleep, so I was kind of really tired all day, so I was a little slow on getting work done. So I hope and I pray tonight I will get a full night's rest. And tomorrow morning I'll wake up, the sun will be shining, the birds will be chirping, and I take in a deep breath and I say,
time to seize the day. Then it's a good day, bro. It's not slaving.
yeah, it was actually really fun. The game we were playing is called Frosthaven. Look it up, Frosthaven. It's kind of like a legacy board game, so it's like a long-running sort of campaign that I play with 3 other of my friends. And it's a fun little game. Little game, it's a fucking massive game.
Yeah, couldn't sleep till 2 a.m. and got woken up by a storm at 5. Just zooming in. I went to bed at like 12 last night, and then I sort of laid there until 4 a.m. and then woke up
At 8 in my alarm, and I'm like, oh no.
and I forced myself to get up because if I sleep in, I'm only going to keep pushing my sleep further and further into the day. Rip, yeah.
So yeah, I've been trying to stay caffeinated today and just pushing on.
Honestly, probably frequent power cuts.
Shock. That's rough.
For me, there was no particular reason why I didn't sleep. I just didn't happen. Like I said, it's every now and then I get like a bout of insomnia. It's very annoying. That's all it was. Bike and talk. Alright, let's have some Depresso talk. What do you got to say for yourself, Presso? Speak. Speak and be heard. The class is listening. I was just actually afraid of being heard. This much I do know, actually. I'm very much aware. Go play Power World. You can hear Depressos on night. I don't want to play Power World though. I got better things to do with my life than waste my time on average game. Oof, get wrecked. Yeah, you heard me. Don't want to sleep and play Souls games.
I feel like they're waking up because they get pretty. Oh wait, yeah, sorry. I see what you mean. We don't want to hear depressor. We want to hear one depressor. Yeah, we want to hear the one decompressor. Is it a red card emoji right there? What the hell? All these little details of this thing. Like will suffer the pal doodle next instead of Jenna. Alright, I'm ready. We had a complete breakdown making a new digital art tutorial for your friend, Caustic Soda. What happened? You're over a minute behind. Semper, no. The metal part's gonna look real dull, but you have to bear with me. Thunderboy. Thunderboy for real. It almost sounds condescending. Call Thunderboy. Wouldn't you like to know, Thunderboy? How can that be? Well, it can't be, because there is no B, Semper. There's no B. Nothing can be. There is no B. Because there was no B. Semper was lame and Kib. No, he wasn't lame. If you post enough B's in chat, maybe you can manifest the B. Say, I believe, I do believe, I do. Governor was slacking. My bad. Oh, not really my fault, but what can you do? That can you do? This cannot be. Put your hands up in the air and believe. Believe in the bee that believes in the something. My head hurts. I'm be real, I'm starting to feel a bit delirious, but I'm gonna keep pushing. The delirium is starting to settle in. If I start singing, then you know it's over. Behave. We'll try. I'm gonna screen cap all these bees, and I'm gonna send it to him. DM this to him. Makes him smile. Okay. Do you guys fear centipedes? Do you have a phobia of them? I can't say I have a phobia of them, but I definitely do not enjoy the thought of one crawling on me, or touching one, or picking one up. They are kind of scary looking and kind of dangerous. I remember a long time ago, when I was a teenager, a friend of mine, his family owned a property like way out in the outback, and they'd have all these mounds of ants that were like super aggressive. Like you could just walk near the ant mound and the ants would start chasing after you. It was kind of terrifying. And we found a massive centipede under a rock, and we used a stick and we put it in a bucket, and then we very much disliked them. Yeah, true. Anyway, we put it in a bucket, and then we dumped the centipede on one of these ant mounds, and we were expecting the ants to just, you know, completely dismember the poor centipede because we were special. However, the centipede like just went to town and started just ripping these ants apart, and like the ants would like come up to it and try to bite its leg, but the centipede would like curl its body and like use its leg to flick the ants away from it, and you could actually hear like the snapping of it flicking the ants off its body, and it would like rip them apart with its head and stuff, and it actually beat most of the ants, and the ants just kind of backed off, and the centipede crawled away, and we were like, what the fuck? That's not what we thought was going to happen. It was a real Bug Wars moment. Anyone knows that show? That old ass show. You're seeing them frequently and you can't live? Yeah, well, you're in the tropics. Makes sense. How did I survive that? Well, we stood of like away and just sort of watched it. It was like, how did the centipede that? Depends on the type of the massive centipedes. You hate them, but the small centipedes, you no problem. There's the house centipedes, which look really gross, but they can't really harm you. But like the big centipedes, like the red ones, their venom can't hurt, like actually kill you, but it's just very painful, and they have a really strong bite. So it's like getting stabbed with needles and then injected with inflammatory poison. That hurts. And if they're big enough, it actually apparently I don't know. Apparently, if they're at a certain size, it's actually painful to have a centipede crawl on you because they're so big that their legs, they have little hooks on their legs, actually stab into your skin, and you can feel them pricking you. And it's like lots and lots of hundreds of legs just pricking you really fast, and it's pretty painful apparently. So it's all just bad. It's all just a bad time. It all just fucking sucks. It's just awful. Just don't even when you see a centipede, just don't even interact. Just pretend as if it were not there. Stream went from cozy to nightmare fuel. Look, I'm sorry. We'll go back to cozy. It's not my fault. I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring up the topic. I just happened to have a couple of centipede stories. Don't talk about that. Well, look. Look. What happens? Okay. You're the one that brought it up, Tulane. To be fair. Why'd you say they like needles? Because you hunt needles? It's because they're fucking big, man. So it's just like getting stabbed with a fucking needle. See a centipede in your city, it 100% dies. See, they're so fucking fast though, so I'm like just too worried that it'll you know, just run at me. Or if I try to kill it, it will like flip over and land on me or something. I'd rather just like, if it's inside, I'll just sort of brush it away, but you rarely see the big ones inside. They're outside because they're okay. You know, honestly, I wanna make this darker. Carry on my wayward bug, I know. May you bite some more. Sting. I do think they look kind of cool though. They're very alien. They look like some. Centipedes were probably very much inspired a lot of alien designs for sci-fi settings and stuff. So they're very bizarre and scary looking creatures. You look at those heels and wonder how many times those legs have just snapped. Look. I didn't design these heels, okay? That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just say it's magic. They're magically reinforced. Don't think about it. I didn't design them. All I know is that I've been instructed to use this design right here. So, and this is what I'm dealing with. Design aliens like British people. Well, that's just little Innsmouth. They're the fish people. So they're just British people. The ref material hasn't even high. Yeah, I feel like I made it a little bit more subdued. Like I didn't quite go as crazy with it. Probably because I have to deal with the reality of it interacting in a scene. While the original, it's just like a standing concept. So. Ancient Japanese steel folded 1,000 times. No, it's ancient chatfish steel. Reinforced with 1,000 tortured souls of 1,000 chatfish. It's magic. Magically enhanced heals. In order for them to break, you must exercise all the souls of the chatfish that have been exercised and that have been sealed inside them. Don't think about it and consume comm slot, then buy another comm slot. Look, slide down. Okay. Yes, now you know how it feels to model out of not fully thought out concept. Well, I feel like you suffer to an even greater degree. Because even I can still push it a bit more out of reality, and it still make it fun, make it passable. However, you're like, well, making fucking 3D image, so it has to make sense. And because they respawn, their souls are recycled. Well, not if they're trapped within these heals. Travis had the Beano stick bonking. Ah. Crying. Raphios, do you have a story of like the most incomprehensible reference that you had to deal with to make something? Something that was just like didn't make any sense, or was just really hard to decipher. What's a chatfish? Oh, that's a good question, actually. Someone enlighten them. I'm busy. Every month you get at least one. Come on, riddle me regale me a tale or one that was particularly annoying. I'm interested. You thought it's a real word? It's not a real word. Sorry, there's a... I'll explain. There's a community that I'm a part of which the streamer is calls them his members of his chat chatfish, and they have little designs. Some of them are in chat. You can see them if you look at their YouTube profiles. The worst thing is when someone does a concept from multiple different angles. Really? How does that make sense? They just get things wrong? They don't line up at all. Okay, they just get things wrong. Become a pal. I thought you'd be the only one. I like it when you're the only one. Actually, no, there was another one. I need to mute my Discord. Right. Are you winning, son? The best I can be. I'm trying my best, Dad. I hope that counts for something. But thanks, Dad. I'm glad you're here. You guys have created a whole new vocabulary. You would be amazed. You have no idea, my friend, what insane things have been created. It wasn't me.
Right. So they send you the thing of multiple angles, thinking it would help you, but it's not consistent, and you have to be like, which reference is the correct reference? I think I understand. Well, at least you get you get a visual reference. I have to go mostly based off vague descriptions, hope and pray a lot of the time. So, if it's any consolation. And then when they'll be like really vague in like they'll explain something, and I'll be like, okay, I'll come up with something, and then I'll do it. I'll do a sketch, and they'll be like, no, like this, and then they send me a reference, and I'm like, bro, why did you send me a reference at the beginning? I scream. I scream, and my screams are unheard, unanswered. To this, more like the rat. The prodigal Biken returns. I never left. I was always here. Yep, and then they change. Yeah. Yeah. The worst ones are it's when they changed what the idea that they have, like when you're already like pretty much mostly through piece, and it's like, or where Jeno doesn't tell you what kind of gloves you're supposed to use. At least cast concepts are really readable. Even the really scribbly ones. Me, yeah, you, Jeno. You know what she did. Points the finger at you. You guys studied with each other in a friends group in art school? No, I never went to art school. I am self-taught. I know Baptiste because we are work colleagues of sorts via online spaces, I guess.
I guess you can say that. That makes sense, right? I can actually color pick off this. No. But I can. Yes. Of that black.
We're in different parts of the world.
Yeah. I don't know if Bathios went to school for
3D modeling.
or just self-taught. I don't know. What's your history, Bathios? Learning since middle school. Wow. Professional. Groomed since birth. No, I feel awkward to be here. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say that. Sorry. There's a lot of stuff going on. So if you hang around long enough, you start to catch on what's happening. It's just that I make a lot of art for another community, and a lot of the people part of that community are also hanging out in this chat, so they're all sort of making references to that.
When you saw the Dawn of War 1 cinematic, you knew what you wanted to do.
Man, if it only was so easy for me. That's great. I definitely had a lot more resistance when it came to what I wanted to do from family, so the path I walked was never certain. But it is an awesome cinematic, I know that much.
Oh, you are self-taught. Oh, I see. Well, that's even cooler then.
You saw the dream and you just fucking went for it. I like that. They studied in Australia Hungarian art school together. Wrong, incorrect. But you can continue your fan fiction. When I went to uni, I got a Bachelor of Environmental Management. I hated that course, but I have the bachelor's degree.
A lot of big breaks, different jobs.
I see.
When you were playing smartass in school, I was cleaning toilets.
Look, I was working my entire time when I was at uni. I never took time off work since I was 16, so I got a job at 16 and I've been working since. My first job, I was washing dishes, and I washed dishes for like 4 years, and then I started waiting tables and serving coffee and cleaning the restaurant, and then also Then I was also sorting mail. And then I was stacking shelves at the grocery store and receiving pallets from trucks. Dishwasher is another term for woman. No, I was washing dishes. It's very different. Washing dishes at a commercial level, so the dishes that come in are endless, and you stand there for 9 hours or 8 hours in the same spot washing dishes, and then getting yelled at that they need more dishes cleaned. You just that's the job. So you were slow. Wow, thanks, Senpai. Heaven forbid the day's fucking busy. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid that there's a fucking line of customers out the door constantly ordering stuff. And they can't clear the tables fast enough, and I'm one person cleaning the entire all the dishes for the whole cafe. Man, you guys are veterans. Yeah, I've worked some jobs. I'm joking. You've had it very easy. Bafios, no. Are you saying you haven't toiled like I have? You weren't in the trenches, a fellow soldier. Indio. Hello, Indio. What's up? You're up really early, Indio. Nice. What's the occasion? You're in your first year? Oh, your adventure has just begun. Everyone's path is different. Senpai only worked one job for real. Senpai, are you saying that you had your career lined up for you? You just went to university and you sat, and then when you left, you sat down at a desk at the chem plant. You didn't have to belly crawl up a fucking waterfall to earn your keep for 9 years. You did some nasty jobs but never struggled. Okay. I wouldn't say I struggled financially. It's just that I had to work. It wasn't. I've never made bad decisions or stuff like that. I've never had to live paycheck to paycheck, if that's what you mean. But I did have to work. But we all have to work, so you know how it is. Indio sees him. Yeah, grab him. Damn, you haven't slept and you didn't stream. Oh, okay. That's good. You didn't go to uni. How did you land a job at the chem plant then? Alright, Senpai, you need to explain. I feel like that's a job that you need a degree or some sort of certification for, right? No uni as well. I was forced to go to uni, so I didn't have a choice. You went to school for 12 years and then to trade. Wow. What kind of trade did you need? Skills do you need to get this chem plant gig? going for merchant navy chemist. Wait, don't you need a degree to be a chemist? What? You now legally cook. You tried, but it was for ramming mechanical shit that didn't click with. Oh, for farming shit, yeah. So you can say, Jenno, we have to cook. That's why you went for school for 12 years. Yeah, but that's primary and secondary school. Breaking Bad, yes. Breaking Bad's amazing. We love Breaking Bad here. Everyone here has watched Breaking Bad. And those who haven't aren't welcome. Breaking Bad. Yeah, but Simba, you don't get a fucking chemistry skills from fucking high school. Primary school. What do you want about? Unless there's like some kind of certification school that you went to. Guess I'll leave then. And then come back when you've watched Breaking Bad and we'll welcome you back, Pondo. I'm kidding. Trade school for 3 years. Trade school for chemistry? I've not heard of that. I didn't know that was a thing. Because I'm pretty sure here to be a chemist, you have to have a degree. Now you can work at a chemist, like giving prescriptions, but to actually be the person making drugs or doing anything higher than that, you need a degree. You don't like watching TV series? It's like a TV where if okay, talking about that. Okay. Bondo, you thought you were the one drawing? What? I'm the one drawing. What the hell? Bondo's drawing. What's going on here? You need to watch it as well? Yes. Watch it with the wife. It's fun for the whole family. But unironically, it's a fantastic show. Highly recommend. You're on season 4? Nice. It's good shit. What's next here? The thing is, this whole thing is gonna be like completely. See the colors now, and it's gonna be completely different once we're doing the render. It's not gonna look like this at all. "15 seasons? Why, you started Supernatural." I don't think I'd ever will watch Supernatural. I feel like that's one of those shows where it has like one good season and then it's like progressively worse ever since. So I've heard. I might be wrong, but that's what I've heard about it. Oh, there you go, Indio. Do you stop at season 4? Nice start, but really drags, yeah. See, I'd say Breaking Bad actually pretty much gets better with each season. Like I'd say season 5 is probably one of the probably one of the better seasons. Yeah, it's great 3 seasons, then goes downhill in the rest. So it's like Battlestar Galactica. Oh my god, that is such a disappointing fucking. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. That shit broke me. Like they completely rewrote what they were going to do with that show. Fucking Battlestar Galactica, man. Don't remind me. Don't remind me. Breaking Bad has a finished story, and Supernatural has the Bleach filler arcs. Yeah. Breaking Bad has a clear and concise vision throughout the entire show and never meanders. While Battlestar Galactica has a really clear vision for like the first 2 seasons, and then they like completely change course into like the most dog shit fucking plot ever. Absolute terrible. It's like they didn't really know what to do up until that point, or they just changed direction. I was like, oh my god. You gonna be saved from watching 10 plus seasons? Yeah. Got the spoiler from the fate of Hank from one of my friends. Oh, well, it's kind of everywhere, to be fair, that gif. Like the first seasons of, but yeah, season 1 and 2 when they're on the season 1 and 2 Battlestar, when they're like Battlestar Galactica, when they're on the like the ship convoy of like the last remnants of the human race, like that shit's awesome, and they're like solving problems, like that's awesome. And then they land on the planet, and that is where everything just gets turned upside down and becomes miserable. And it turns out like one of the fucking characters was like a Cylon and shit, and it's like there's no fucking way. There's no way that's the case. It's not real. Season 2 is great. Season 1 had the pace of One Piece. What show?
You love the kind of twink that will actually just kill me. You know, when I left the house today, I was thinking, damn, I hope some hot boy chick paints my brains all over some goddamn hallway.
Thanks, man. I'm glad you shared that with me and everyone here.
I think we got a bot here. See, I accused him of being a bot
Last stream, and he seemed to prove his worth. But he does give the bot energy.
I know what you mean. Do I do things other than art?
No, I exist to draw. I'm a being of drawing. That's all I do. I wake up each day and I draw, and I go to bed and I dream of drawing. And when I'm not drawing, I'm thinking about drawing. As for my this YouTube channel, that's at the time being all I've done is done art streams. I don't plan on doing anything different. So yeah. Sorry. Or maybe that's what you're after. I don't know. I don't know what you're after.
It doesn't exist as a concept when he doesn't draw. Exactly. I just fade away.
From existence. I'm the embodiment of art and of drawing. Is what I do.
I can only exist while drawing.
Once I stop drawing, I'm banished to non-existence. Such is my fate.
Real?
Like he's that slave, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like sometimes I'm like, maybe I could do like a gaming stream or I play a video game maybe, but I don't know. Then I feel like I just slip into that. I don't want to do that.
I like my stream twice a week just to do some drawing. I think that's enough. He's bad at games, so he's afraid to show. That's it. I'm up. Fuck you, India. All right, I'm pausing the stream. It's still, you know. However, when I do finish this, we're going to do the wheel spin for the next drawing, so it's going to be fun. And it's going to be something fucking crazy. Licky still exists after he stops drawing, but he's at the bottom of the bucket where no one can see him or know that he exists. Now that's fucking real. Really? It hit that hard? No, I'm joking. We can play some Darktide and chill. Artist and artist beef being cooked here. Yeah, I know.
Look, I can't lose to India. He's Brazilian. I have to beat him at all things, all the time.
We're in a constant, like, arm wrestle, spiraling into chaos.
As we try to one-up each other in a desperate struggle against something that no one else really cares about. Just forces of entropy smashing against each other.
played Dark Souls 1?
I beat Dark Souls 1 in like 2014, I think. Years ago. What do I need to do next? This thing.
What art dost art licky?
Sorry, man. I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm sure it was profound, and it means a lot to you, so I'll give you that.
You can try to one-up him by making my fancy rat, more fancy than his last one.
I have to check what his last one is, and I'll be like, alright, I have to beat that.
You could not be bothered to finish it. Souls game bad.
They're better than Power World? I'll agree with that. I mean, let's be fair. Power World is a pretty low bar. Like, I'd say most, like, Flash games are better than Power World. Like, Thing Arena 3 is way better than... Like, you could type in Crazy Monkey Games or Armor Games and just, like, look at that list, and probably about 90% of those games are better than Power World. Gay? Question mark? Are you questioning? Is that what you're implying?
Stirhard can be bothered to use his fish. I know, right?
I made him a fish.
And he doesn't use it.
Just likes his default avatar.
Is Bush Shoutout better though?
I haven't played that one actually. What the fuck?
Dark Souls X Dark Souls.
Doesn't like those white soled shoes. White soled shoes. They get dirty too easily, man. The white soled shoes are in right now, so I don't know what you're gonna do about that. Would have made Kip happy. Signing up to Grinder. Maybe. Howard is number 1. Yeah, it's 1 out of 100. If power was so good, Depresso, why don't you send me a screenshot of what your base looks like, huh? Show me your chops. Come on. Show me how much of a Power World fucking aficionado you really are. Send me a screenshot of what your base looks like.
I'm waiting. See you, Hennestad. Have a good one. India's being mean for no good reason. Your testing servers for 1.0.
take a shot for every layer. Look, you need to take 13 shots. There's 13 layers, alright? It's not that many. Take 13 shots. Don't worry, there's gonna be more. You really loved it, man. You guys have a good community. You'll join another one of my stream. Thanks. Guess you're heading out then? See ya. Thanks for showing up. 13? Damn. Yeah, there's gonna be more too, because this is just the base layers, man. I need to add the actual render layers. It's 9 AM and you didn't sleep. That's a good reason to be mean. That's fair enough. Yeah, I didn't sleep at all last night. I had like 4 hours, maybe 3 hours of sleep. The sleep did not come. No matter how much I wished for it. Come. Do not come. You say take a shot for every layer, but I'm actually, on average, when it comes to other people, I don't use that many layers. Believe it or not. I'm actually on the lower end of people using layers. Would you believe it? The Ganon Cannon haunts his dreams, exactly. Every time he closes his eyes, he sees that and he wakes up in a cold sweat. Having experienced a night terror, it keeps him up at night. I would, but I have no beads, so I can only live it. If someone should make those bat silhouettes into flying chatfish. Well, they could be. They're just far away. Think about it. It's all about your interpretation. I feel like we already got a lot of chatfish. I realize I messed this eye up. I need to fix it up. Maybe we should play some Gartic Phone one day. Yeah, that'd be cool. Well, I also had an idea of setting up and streaming a like a drawful. Like a draw pile, sorry. The Gartic Phone could be cool. I don't know if we could do that here, or we could do that on well, that's wrong. Or we could do that on a Kib stream. And I've had some of the funniest fucking shit on Gartic Phone. So that's a good idea. What is the bat? See, look, they're round. But also, she's raising zombie chatfish from the dead, so I feel like we've got plenty of chatfish representation happening here. So fear not.
Sure would like to play Scribble? Do you mean Scribble.io? Talking about Scribble.io?
Yeah, I'm down. Let me know. I'll be there. Unless you want to set it up here on the stream. I can do that too.
We get to a talk.
Let me know. We can set something up. Either just by ourselves or on stream. I love that game. It's fun as fuck. What is a bat if not a leather rat? Very true. They're just flying rats. No, actually, pigeons are the flying rats. Let's be real. Pigeons are the flying rats. If we're gonna truthful about these things.
The Pope Assembly is a pigeon.
What do you mean by this, Simple? What did he mean by that? Calling the Pope a rat, are you? Rats are a symbol of peace. I feel like they're more often attributed to conniving and treachery and the spreading of pestilence and plague and scavenging and but I didn't realize they were so honorable. Maybe I'm wrong.
Look at Master Splinter.
True. That's one honorable rat. Can you name another? It's like a glove. I don't know how to.
Danquil, Rat Trap from Beast Wars. That's cool. Stuart Little kept an orphan from kept an orphan from getting adopted. That's evil.
But he's a mouse though. But also true. They adopted a mouse instead of an actual human. That's crazy. Stuart Little is one of those franchises that was like super big at the time and like everywhere and did not stand the test of time, and no one really talks about it at all anymore. You know?
Do the world a favor because they are all little shits.
You've never watched it? I've seen it a bunch, but all when I was like a child, so I don't really remember if it's actually good. I'm sure the first one still holds up. I don't know about the second one or the third one that's animated. I've never seen the third one. I've only seen the second one.
Fake rat.
I never watched Power Rangers. I didn't watch the Beyblade though. I had Beyblades. I remember the days when Beyblades used to make you bleed. Because they're too powerful.
Which one did I watch?
The original series. I never watched it, but I watched it on TV when it was on, you know, as a kid. But I never got properly into the show, but I did watch it.
Life with Louie.
What's Life with Louie? Is it a show about a goat?
Concept of Beyblade is hilarious, with how Moses split the sea, or how dudes just level buildings with kids' toys.
I don't remember them leveling buildings with kids' toys.
I just remember the
Like the arena fights and stuff.
men never see Ryuga in action.
like I said, I never like really watched it or followed the show. I sort of watched it when it was on. There are shows that I remember much more fondly than Beyblade, I'll be real. American animated sitcom created by Louis Anderson. Life of Louis. Let me see if I recognize it. I don't recognize this at all. I've never seen this. And in the 90s. Huh. Oh god, it looks like him. He looks like a little Frankenstein kid, and then you look at him in real life, and it's just him. The cult following mostly due to amazing voice and clever dialogues. Okay. I mean, there were a shit ton of great cartoons from the 90s, so... take your word for it. There are no Beyblade comps in my local area? Damn, you have to go find one. El Drago was a Moses Beyblader. Okay. Fuck people up and where they stood and the people around and everything in its path. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I only watched it on occasion when it was on. We're almost there. We're almost there. There's one thing that you should be proud of as Paul is our god tier voice artist. You're not proud of the Witcher series? Arguably the most famous Polish thing to come out of anything. You are, but its charm is very much lost in translation and different voice actors. Yeah, I had a feeling. It's not surprising. I, however, have just read the books, so the voice acting doesn't affect me. I own the Witcher 3 though, but I haven't played it. I have a friend who's a huge fan of the game and the book series. I, however, despise the Netflix show. I think that shit is terrible. So bad. Even the first season. It was never good. Alright, we're almost out of this fucking base color hell. Purgatory. Do you feel it? It's hard for you to appreciate Shakespeare, not at the same level. Translation still might affect me. Fuck. Well, for what it was, I liked it. I think the Witcher series, I don't think it's perfect, but it is very likable. The books have a lot of charm. The characters are great. Unfortunately, I think the last book, the 5th book, is the worst one. The last book of the, because there's the compilation of short stories, and then there's the actual like Gerald's actual story, the chronological one, and the last book in that, unfortunately, is the worst. Just don't like Ciri. Oh, we've had this discussion, Bathius. Yeah, you don't like Ciri. Just because you hate women, that's why, clearly. Yeah, you don't like Ciri. And Ciri's one of my favorite characters in the series, that's funny. Yeah, we've had this discussion, I remember. Good, I read Witcher in primary school because your dad made me a deal that if you read it, he'd buy me the Witcher 1 game. And I've seen footage of the Witcher 1 game and it looks very jank, but I'm sure Baby Jano really had a great time. Is Witcher 1 appropriate for Baby Jano though? In primary school? Is the Witcher series appropriate for a primary school series? I don't think so. Now that I think of it. There's like rape in there. Yes. Saying yes, it is appropriate. Or you're saying yes to something else. It was ass, you can never finish it. Ciri is not a good main character in The Witcher because she isn't a Witcher. Well, she's not a Witcher, that's true. I wouldn't call her the main character, but she is one of the main cast. You judge yourself how I turned out. Yeah, I think it completely destroyed you, Jenna. I'll be real. It's over. All because you read The Witcher in primary school. Irreparable damage. Witcher Bitcher thing. She's the main character in the new game. Okay, well I'm not talking. I know that's all. I know that controversial. I'm just talking about the book series. Because the book series bounces between a lot of different characters' perspectives. Ciri being one of them. But it's mostly on Gerald still, but... Ciri's story in the book series is very interesting. I don't know what to say about the fucking games. Who knows? I'm going a little slow because if I had my yapper here, I'd be able to go a lot faster. Oh well, what can you do, huh? I don't mind switching between characters. You read plenty, but yeah, no, that was fine in the books. I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what it does. You remember reading Game of Thrones and the stories divided between characters too. Anytime it was time for whatever the mother's turn came, you hated so much. Yeah. There are plenty of stories that jump between characters and it's like, oh no, now we have to do this. I mean, in the Game of Thrones show, it was whenever it was fucking Bronn's time. It was like, was it Bronn or was it Bran? Bran Stark? Bronn Stark? The fucking cripple kid. His fucking story in the show was so fucking awful. I fucking hated it whenever it would switch back to him. Like, when you do the switching character things, it can work provided all of your characters are interesting. If there are characters that suck and you're switching to them, people are not gonna like it. Yeah, his story and his mother, two of them are so boring. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks, man. Whoops. Whoops. You feel it at the end. Reaching go to base colors. The real trial has only just begun. I never read Game of Thrones though, and I probably never will, given the book, the series will never be finished. George R. Martin is going to die before that series is done. Mark my words. Okay. I need to add these. Not very fond of Triss. Sorry, I completely missed you there, Simple. Back to our Witcher conversation. Triss is a meh character. She's fine. She's not. I didn't hate her. Sorry. For her looks to Yen. Yeah, in the game, maybe, I guess. In the book, she was a character. Triss? Yeah, but not sure what you mean. Yes, games. Remember the books. In the book, she serves a very particular role, and then is kind of only really like relevant when it comes to like the sorceresses and their thing. Yennefer is doing way more. Yennefer is like all over the place, doing all sorts of things. Like the if I remember, there's like the Council of the Sorceresses, and the not just sorceresses, but like the magicians and sorceresses, and Yennefer's like essentially gone rogue, not listening to them, and while Triss hasn't, she's sympathetic to what Geralt and Yennefer are doing, so she's kind of on the inside. Kind of. Yen is bound to Geralt by the Yin, kind of, but she also does like him. In her weird way of, her weird woman ways of, me, I'm gonna be a bitch. And poor Geralt's on his hands and knees saying, please, Yennefer, just a crumb. And she's like, nah, bye. Yeah, the Lodge, that's what it's called, the Lodge, right? Yeah. Because, Yennefer's essentially gone rogue, and they essentially want to capture her and potentially kill her or imprison her. While Triss, being a friend of both her and Geralt, is kind of helping them from the inside, sort of. Handling how she feels. If I remember correctly. First, there was Priscilla Gringild and a few other. I mean, a lot of the other people in the lodge, they're like absolute turbo bitches, and that's kind of their point. They're supposed to be turbo bitches. And they wanted it's funny because like pretty much they wanted Ciri because she's like really important to like their fucking prophecy. The magic or whatever, and then Yennefer was like, fine, I will give you Ciri, but only after this amount of time and this amount of days. And then she's like, all right, it's been this amount of time and this amount of days. And she's like, bye, fuck you.
Fringilla auto-corrected Gringilla. Oh yeah, Fringilla.
I also like how in the books, like the whole monster slaying thing is kind of like just set dressing. It's not actually important to like the story, which is interesting. Well, it is important, but like it's not the main point of the story. Just kind of a vessel for it. Adjusting this silly necklace around the place.
Yeah. For how long was sending spirits to rest before they turn hollow an important thing in Bleach?
I haven't read Bleach or seen Bleach.
It's funny 'cause in the book, it's more about how there are all these different factions vying to get Siri, and also how there's essentially a war going on at the same time, and it's about Geralt and his crew essentially traversing the country while there's a fuck off war happening, and all sorts of other political turmoil that's happening. Ciri's kind of in the middle of it all. Damn, me Bino. Like half a season.
Well, that's Bleach, right? Bleach is like, yeah, he had his one concept, and then that was it. And then he just sort of went, okay, I guess I'm just gonna do the same thing forever. Forget about everything else. That's why I didn't think I'll ever watch Bleach. I couldn't imagine. I think I'd go insane as the story starts to loop. I can't do it. I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough. I've already done my time with some of the worst writing in shows. I don't think I need to endure anymore. Enjoying most of the characters. Why don't I just do this? I'm very indecisive here. Why don't I just do it like this? Oops. just realized I drew in the wrong layer again. Yippee. Wait, no I didn't. I'm just absolute stupid. I'm tripping myself up.
It's great. Which went downhill after the first season and nosedived like.
I mean, I feel like that's the consensus. Like after the first season, it's.
So I've heard.
So I've heard. Oh, you're just watching me paint a fucking necklace. I'm being very indecisive about this. Bear with me. I'm also like falling apart at the seams. I'm really tired.
Oh. I said I'm running on 4 hours of sleep.
Been awake all day.
To go to bed soon, yeah, probably.
Not been the most exciting stream. I've just been blocking in stuff, but you can see the colors.
This Aerith is going to be.
Whoops! I don't know why I did that.
My whole thing's lagging.
Aerith's gonna be a lot darker as well. Even though she looks quite lit up for the time being. It won't be the case. But all the bases have been blocked in, so that means we're free to play around with the render. That'll be more interesting. Oh, God. Oh, man.
Sleep, pay doc.
Fuck. Alright, India. I will work until the wee hours of the night. I will break myself. I will get carpal tunnel.
Sleep, pay doc.
That's funny. I will break myself. Indio doc. I think he should pay the Brazil tax. Which means he has to pay for being Brazilian. I'm not really thinking. I am so tired. My brain isn't working. I don't know what I'm doing. None of it is. Ugh.
How's the other drawing? You are drawing the same time with your feet. That one, honestly, I'm going a bit slow on that one too. As I said, I'm so tired, so I'm not as productive as I should be, unfortunately. Even with my foot drawing. India can't be docked much more, or you have to give things back. Yeah, you get docked enough that then you have to start paying. You don't get paid, you have to pay, right? You have to pay in. That's how it works. Good. Okay. I need to close my eyes. brother. Okay. Alright. We did it. Everything's set. The next stream will be a lot more eventful. Be doing a lot more fun, interesting, cool things. And less just busy work. But we did all the busy work, so we ate our vegetables, as one would say. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna hopefully I'm going to have a long restful sleep so I can wake up and be re-energized, and I'll seize the day. I'll wake up and the sun will shine on me, and oh, I say hello sun, and the birds will sing, and I say hello birds. And I won't wake up feeling more tired than I did going to bed. That's never a fun feeling. So yeah, thanks for showing up, guys. In spite of it all, I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. Yeah, this beat is still looking good. I think it's gonna be great. And then it'll turn to bird. Is Carlos pecking you? Carlos will fucking throw a chair at me. Yeah, next stream will be Thursday, same time, guys. 8 p.m. AEST on Thursday. We'll be finishing this. I think this is gonna take, probably 2 more streams. So I'll probably have this done next Sunday. And at the end of the Sunday stream, we can do the big wheel spin and figure out what we'll draw next. So yeah, hope I get some better sleep though. Trust me, I hope as well. I'm hoping and I'm praying. Trust me on that one. So yeah, thanks for showing up, guys. But before we go, I believe there's something that we have to do. Would you agree? I would think so. Maybe there's nothing. Oh no, turns out there is something. See you guys. Bye-bye.